Hello, beautiful beings. Welcome back to the channel. I originally was going to record this, but I thought, let me just deep dive into a live and really feel your energy, receive so much of the medicine that's here. I feel like it's going to be so much more powerful being live, connecting with you guys. So, I'm going to be going over 8 signs that you have been chosen to step into being part of the new earth. And this video is going to resonate with you. This transmission is going to resonate with you if you are someone that has been experiencing a lot of structures in your life shedding, if you've been noticing that your emotions have been up and down, if you've been noticing that you're seeking this support that you've never asked for before, if you've been noticing vivid images or your clairaudient is popping or the ringing of the ears or the angel numbers are going crazy, whatever may have you, if any of this resonates with you, if you're even just feeling this pull to this video, then I trust that this is for you and that you will receive what you are meant to receive. So I'm really excited to go into this and to connect with you guys. I'm so happy that it's your first live. Woo woo. If it's your first one, let me know with the rainbow emoji. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay, I'm going to keep this on because, again, I was going to record this, but I feel like it will be just beneficial for you to have it up here. So if it's your first time here, hi, I'm Shika. I'm a medicine woman, and I've been helping souls for over 7 years with this deep healing and practice. Through my own work really was how it brought me to what I'm doing now. And my biggest prayer, my biggest conduit is to use my voice to channel and to share with you any wisdom that will support you on your journey through the medicine that is here, and to also bring community. So you guys that are here, you are all creating this beautiful energy to come together and to connect and not feel alone through your process. So that's my biggest intention with this channel. And it's so nice to connect with you guys. Hey, Jen. And just really just sit and just kind of come with you with all the things. I have my journal out. I'm serious. We're live on 2 screens right now, on YouTube and also on TikTok. So again, let me know where you're tuning in from. Introduce yourself if it's your first time here. And yeah, and the other thing I want to share with you guys is if you feel like someone is going through this process, send them this video, send them this live, like share with them. This will support us because a lot of people sometimes are in a space of isolation. I'm going to go into that a little bit more, and they don't ask for help. And sometimes we intuitively get these messages to just share genuinely, not even give context to it, allow that person to receive what they need to receive. And it really helps people out. So, yeah, the more that we can help each other and our neighbors, the more that we can all be free and at peace as a collective. And that's my deepest prayer in this work. So don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, a like, subscribe, put notification bells, all the things. It does help the channel a lot on YouTube, TikTok, if you guys can follow along. And on YouTube, if you want to follow me on TikTok, I share a lot of great short content. But honestly, I love YouTube because this is where you get the most feel of what I do and just the transmissions as well. And if you are interested in working deeper with me, you can go to my website in my link tree. It has my retreats that are going on, trainings for healers and light workers, as well as mentoring for those who need healing, support, or guidance. And there's a lot of exciting things like breathworks and other events that I do on there. So it's really exciting. Hello from Montreal. Amazing on your journey for 4 years. Definitely share. Oh, amazing. Yeah, share with a friend, whatever feels good to you. Okay, let's get into it. So the last few days has been a transmission, and to give you guys a walkthrough as to where this transmission is coming from, I've been up and awake for hours. I'm going through a really major enlightenment, and I'm being told to share this messages with you guys on a deeper level, on a deeper layer. And I think it's so beautiful. So interested that you have to say, yeah, I know there's so much deep stuff. Yeah, so nice to see you, Davina. So yeah, be connected with the chat. I do want this to be a conversation. I don't want to just be talking. Even for those who watch the replay, it's going to feel like a conversation. That's what I really want to bring into this. So let's start with New Earth. Let's start with that. What in the world is that? Like, I feel like there's a lot of heat around that these words, and I feel like a lot of people actually don't know the essence of what that means. New Earth, in short, means that the Earth is evolving. We evolve as beings. The Earth has the right to evolve. She evolves so much deeper. And Pachamama, Mother Earth, Gaia, however that you connect with this natural world that we live in, because yes, at its truest form, it is natural. Um, this is the biggest thing. So the new earth means the earth is now going through major, rapid conscious up leveling due to us and due to her. We are mirroring each other at this time. And what that means is that the earth is getting so many messages beyond anything that we've ever experienced, our ancestors have ever experienced. And with that, the truth is that some of us are going to continue to go with this new earth and some of us will not. And that's something that you have to kind of accept, right? If you're watching this video, most likely you are the soul that is probably going to experience moving on to this new earth. And I'm going to just share a little bit more about, through these 8 things, what you're experiencing now, what you will experience. You can go back to this video as many times as you want and just really feel into what you feel resonates with you. Like I said, take what resonates, throw out what doesn't. But essentially, new earth means the earth is healing. She's evolving. I got a dust bunny down my throat. So she is evolving so much deeper. And as she evolves, she's asking us, now is the time to work with her and not for her to just be something that we take advantage of, something that we are not connecting with. And the way that we do that is from connecting to the ancient ways of her wisdom and to really get out of the way and to learn. I'm going to cough a second, 1 second. Okay, we're good. I'm happy I can mute it because then you guys don't have to hear me coughing. So what that looks like is the first thing out of these signs of if you've been chosen to be upgraded with this new earth, stepping into this new earth, is that everything that is a secret is coming into the light. I want you guys to share in the comments, has there been something that has come into the light for you? Ooh. So what that means is that right now, she is asking us more than ever to look at what shadows have been hidden for a while. I want you to think of your deepest, darkest secret right now. Just think about it. Okay, it's out. Your deepest secret, your deepest message, your deepest truth that you've been holding for so long. Maybe it's something that your partner doesn't know. Maybe it's something that your family doesn't know. Maybe it's something that no one in your life knows, but you know. Sometimes we're not even aware that we're holding these secrets. I'm feeling like someone's opening their throat. That's why I'm coughing a lot. I can see the energy. 1 sec. Okay, let's clear that. Give me a second. We love when spirit does that. Let's do some Palo Santo. So one of the biggest things that I want to share with you guys is that your voice is your weapon and your voice is your truth and your voice is your power. And when we're holding a secret in our being, it sits in our throat, it sits in our body, it sits in our energy. And if you aren't aware, recently there's been so many solar flares that have been happening in the world. I don't know if anyone's aware of that, but I'm sharing this with you guys now. There's been so many solar flares. What are solar flares? They're just flares in the universe that are coming from the sunlights, the beams, the different meteorites. They are happening at rapid times, 3 or more a day. Now, what happens when these solar flares are being reflecting in Earth? When these solar flares start to happen, we receive deep light, prana. Do you know that when you sun gaze with the sun, and you can only do it when it's sundown and sunrise, that you're receiving energy, you're receiving food, or you're receiving prana, right? So just imagine that throughout the day, not only are you getting sun, if there's sun on that day, but you're also getting flares, you're getting energy, right? So when these energies happen, your light body, your soul, your spirit goes through a transmission. And through this transmission, it receives and light is being shined into the shadows that you've been holding back. So the reason why that no secret can move to the new earth is because the new earth is the frequency of truth. It's going to be a time where you can't hide things, that you can't hold the shame of holding your traumas as your trophies, but rather you're stepping into the power and the essence of a higher being, of a higher part of your soul that is here to help the collective. I don't think you guys understand how powerful each and every one of you are. No one is no one is more special than the other. We're all have our specific gifts. We all have certain lives that we've experienced, past lives and lives in this life that are allowing us to expand as we are today, right? But as we are today is something such a small fraction of where we're moving forward. So one of the signs of how you are being upgraded is you are being shown a lot of shadow. Some of these shadows are things that you are aware of. Some of them are things you didn't even know you were holding on to. And there's a release that is happening. It could be a physical release. We'll go into that. It could be an emotional release. It could be a mental release. It could be so many different releases of how it comes out. But I want you to kind of look and see, is there any resistance that happens as you are releasing? Do you feel that resistance in your body? Do you feel that resistance in your being? Where do you feel that resistance? Maybe you're feeling it right now as we're talking. Where are you feeling that resistance? Where are you feeling that space where your body is feeling like it's holding something heavy? The new earth is understanding that these old ways and old systems and stories and lessons, this could be systems in our society, financial systems, governments, schools, these things that we were born and raised in, certain things are not going to be things that are going to be moving forward into the new earth. So what is that initiating us? It's initiating us to look at the shadow, to look at these parts of us and say, hey, I see you. And I'm ready to hold you and accept that this was a secret I held, but I don't want to hold it anymore. So you are being chosen to let go of that secret, to let go of that burden, to let go of those stories, to make space for the new stories that are coming for you, the new lessons that are coming, the new manifestations. And you can't do that when you are at a different frequency. Right? It's like if you were to buy a car. I'm just going to give a materialistic experience. Let's see, what's your first car that any of you owned? For me, it was a Toyota. It was an old car. It was my first car. For me, it felt like the nicest car ever because I knew that car could bring me to A to B, and it was great, and that's what I needed, right? But what happens when you shift and you change your car? Your energy changes, right? Like there's a new responsibility. There's a new commitment that is asked from you. There's a new way of understanding how this car moves and the new functions of the car, right? How it starts. Maybe there's a button. It's not a key anymore. All these things are ways that upgrade in a physical from your first car to the car you have now, right? So for you to let go of this car, you have to accept the new car. And this is what everything is saying. For you to let go of these secrets, it then makes room for you to accept the new gifts, because behind every secret that you hold in your shadow, there is a gift on the other side once acceptance is received. Once receptance is fully received, a new energy is formed, a new contract is formed, and you step into something so much deeper, so much deeper. That's amazing, Channing. So much deeper, Davina. I'm feeling a release. That's what I'm hearing. So much deeper that you don't even know. I'm channeling so much right now. So I want to just let you guys know that what is the secret? If there's anything you can take away from this video, if you know and you feel you're like, oh my gosh, my body's receiving this, I'm sensing a lot of transmission moving through, ask yourself, is there a secret or something that you are fighting against that you don't want, and you keep on trying to push it further into the darkness, and seeing that there is an emotion that is preventing you from letting it go and just giving it back to source, giving it back to Mother Earth, giving it back to the other side, transmuting it back. We're not releasing it, we're dissolving. You know, the reason why I don't use release anymore as much, I say release here and there, but I put quotations, you guys might have noticed that, is because when we're releasing, what's in release? Lease. What's a lease? A lease means a commitment to self where you're constantly creating an agreement for this energy to be in your life. To release is to recreate this trauma, to recreate this energy back into your life. So now our shadow work and healing is asking us to dissolve, not to release anymore. We're not releasing energy anymore. We are dissolving energy. We are giving it back. We're transmuting it into love. We're transmuting it back to source. And when we can do that, we are then creating space for the new channel that we are becoming. Second sign that you're being chosen and getting major upgrades right now, maybe some symptoms that you're experiencing as you step into the new earth. Your dreams are tests, healing, and it feels like a reality. You probably have been already having countless months where your dreams are so constant. It's almost like an everyday thing for you that you have vivid dreams. Maybe for some of you, you weren't dreaming at all. Now you're starting to dream because your third eye is upgrading. You're not maybe taking in ganja, for example. Ganja can, depending on how you use her medicine, can block your third eye. I talk about this in my other videos and chat more about this. But when any medicine is misused, it can actually block your third eye. Right. And I know a lot of people say, well, ganja supports my third eye. It does. But the moment that threshold of abusing a medicine, it then does the opposite of what it's meant to do. Right. But one of the biggest things I want to share with you guys in this point, going back to one of the things, is that you are noticing that your dreams are becoming more vivid. This is a time where I highly suggest you getting a notebook that is your dream book that you have beside your bed. Right. And when you have this dream book beside your bed, the moment you wake up, before you scroll on Instagram, before you check your text messages over the night, whatever it is, take a moment and just point form, write down your dream. Write down the date and write down your dream. Now, what you're writing down is what happened in the dream. Don't get attached to everything that is, because sometimes people see things and have a very deep dream and they think it's negative. And some people think, remember the word think it's positive. Tune into how it feels to dream when you're in the dream and after the dream. In this process, because we're getting so many light energies, frequencies, consciousness, beings that are just shining onto earth to help us heighten, one of the biggest things that I really suggest you doing is to really tune into what is the lesson this dream is giving me. And how is it probably activating me? Maybe you leave the dream and you wake up in this reality and you notice you're tired. Maybe that dream was a test. Maybe that dream was work on your energetic body. I talk about this in the other video as well, but we're getting into a space now where we're focusing less on, I need to have protein and I need to have this and I need to have this diet and blah, blah. And now we're shifting into the real wellness, which is our light body. And your light body is the energy that is beyond your physical. Because when that is managed, that's what's going to help prevent physical diseases, physical elements that we experience in our life. So for example, if you're noticing that you have a physical element, that usually is a pretense to your energetic body, your chakra systems beyond your physical. So we have that, and that goes all the way to 6 meters outside of our body. For people who don't know, I go over this in Reiki a lot when I teach. I also go over this in my Earth Dharma training, my Divine Dharma retreat training, all this I go over. But to go back to the point, test. How do you know Spirit is testing us? They tend to test us in vehicles, water. These are the 2 signs that are great signs to know through your dreams, that they're testing you, right? They're testing you, testing you, testing you. So keep an eye out for those tests. This is what's going to really support you. Healing, right? Again, you're feeling tired, you're feeling energized. Your body has shifted from the time you closed your eyes to when you wake up in this state, you notice something. You may even wake up from a dream and feel heaviness in the chest, heaviness in the shoulders, heaviness in the body. That is ways that you're being called to take the responsibility from the information from that dream and do the work. We're moving into new earth. New earth means in the next few years, we're probably going to see the light of it 2026. But in the next few years, we're going to see a big shift of us being called to take responsibility and do the warrior work. I had a conversation with someone today, and this is what actually partially rippled this conversation with you guys, is someone applied for my one-on-ones. And I asked them a question. I said, tell me what you've been doing so far. They said therapy. They said various other things, which was great. And I said, well, one of the things I notice about is like moving into the new earth is not about just healing in one modality. It's about being curious and healing the being and the body in all levels to move us to 5D, which means that one of the biggest things that why you're going through this upgrade, I'm going to go a little bit deeper with the dreams. When you're in a dream, you're in a different state. You can be in 5D, you can go beyond that. Now, what does that mean for a reality of what we're looking at right now, physically, right? It means all the work that you're doing, and as a chosen being, you're being asked to bring your 5D into 3D, which means not to do the work when you're at home meditating and then hide when you go to work. Being able to join those worlds together. And if there is any hiding, again, we go back to step one, where everything that is a secret, you hiding your truth, you're hiding your divinity, is going to be so uncomfortable that you're going to be forced to do and step into that. Because again, your soul has chosen. I would even change this video from saying you are chosen. It's more that you chose to be part of the new earth for a reason. And the reason might not even make sense right now. It might not even, you might not even know, right? But all in all, that you have been chosen for this new earth and this new era, this new time. 333, right? Angels are calling you to start the new beginning. 11. So new beginning, that is stepping you into that. I'm just seeing numbers and I'm repeating them because I'm seeing them as messages here. Okay. The third sign that you are chosen to upgrading for the new earth and really tuning into being that being, the third reason why you are stepping into this is purge. Okay. Purge. This is huge. If you've been getting headaches, if you've been getting sinus issues, or just cleansing, purging the third eye, if you have been noticing that you're purging physically, like there's nausea and you're literally physically purging, right? And it's not a purge of someone's pregnant or anything. It's like you're purging, right? If you're someone that is purging, bottom purging, maybe you're getting diarrhea, maybe your stool is different. These are all signs that your physical body is purging out so much because it's trying to meet the light body. And the light body has nothing to do with the physical. It is all, I will repeat this again, it is all energetic. So anything that is, read your body, ask yourself, what is my body feeling? Is your spine feeling achy? Is there a noticing that you can't eat certain foods? Maybe you're shifting your diet. Maybe now you were vegan for so many years, you're turning into pescatarian. Maybe you were pescatarian for so many years and you're changing to vegan. You're like, I can't eat food anymore, or I can't eat certain foods, or spirit's telling me not to eat that food. Every person is going to get a purge and be given certain alignments, certain things that are going to be meant for you. Right? So there is no judgment if someone is a vegan and they're changing into pescatarian, and there's no judgment if someone's pescatarian changing to vegan. We need to throw out these judgments of what is considered an aligned, and I know, again, this is a very deep process, but it's true. We have to remove these judgments for us to meet the new earth. When we start to judge other people, these are insecurities of ourselves. We're projecting our own shadows onto other people. And that's something that we catch with love, and we see it. We say, wait a minute, I'm judging that person. And there's a belief here. There's a reason why I'm judging this person. So notice how you're purging, where you're purging. Are you purging from a specific chakra when you're purging other ways? Are you purging with acne? Maybe your teenage acne comes out because your teenage shadow self is purging right now. That is normal. Right? Maybe you're purging through your moon cycles. This is something I'm noticing in community as well. Like a lot of women are having their moon cycles different, right? You're being called to heal the womb. You're being called to really understand, have a relationship with the ceremony that you have here. Maybe you're purging with your smell. If you're noticing you're smelling more, it's your sweat and your BO stickier. That is all purge. So your physical body is purging years and years of toxins, metals that you've been holding for a long time. And because, again, these lights, these astral activity is shining on this earth, it's going to help support us. The sun itself is upgrading higher sun codes on us. we're going to feel more. We're going to be more sensitive. Okay. All of us, not just one of us, not special one. All of us are going to be more sensitive. It is an experience that we're going to have. So if you have been purging, I know some of you guys are sharing right now, please share with me in the comments, even if you're watching the replay, what purges have you been experiencing? I feel like it helps when we share, because then it's like we're not alone. I'm also having the headaches. I know some of you are talking about headaches, sinuses, tired. Yes, 100%. You're just feeling like you don't have energy to do things. That's a purge, right? You're purging because the life that you're living right now is not in alignment to the new earth of the life you're living in the future. And you might not know what that is right now. Maybe you do. Right? Every single one of us will have this different experience. Acne, cold, sinuses, tired. No medicine is helping, because medicine is physical, right? Medicine is masking. Medicine is anything from, I'm going to get a lot of things. And how do I say this without, for everyone to see this message on here? But we have to take into account that the Western medicine is numbing to a certain extent. There is a good portion of 6 out of 7 of the medicines of the Western is a lot about fixing the one symptom, but it numbs everything as the root. And that's where Eastern and Western, which I talked about again today with one of the people that applied to the program about the eagle condor prophecy. It's about being able to weave the Eastern and the Western life that we live in, to take what worked in the past, which there's a few things that we're going to take along and upgrade in the future, and to take a lot of what is working in the future in the higher realm and the higher energies and the higher consciousness, right? So tune into, what are you purging? You can even purge through dreams. That's another thing too. If you're having a lot of vivid dreams, you can physically see yourself purging energetically through dreams. Make note of that in your dream journal. This is what's going to help you take responsibility of this. Feeling sick, your body's asking you to relax. So what that means sometimes, this is so much deeper, but this isn't even a sign. This is something, a sub sign from purging. But one of the things, like Karina mentioned, that I was really sick and last week and just started my moon cycle. So yeah, you're starting to feel this like fatigue that's coming up. But what happens is sometimes our body makes us feel like we go through this shedding of death, essentially energetic, physical death. It feels like a dying, it feels like a shifting. And when we do that, what's happening is sometimes we have outer body experiences that we didn't process from the past. And that's coming into the light because it was a secret that we weren't healing. And then through that time of laying down in bed, feeling sick, can't do anything, we go back to those experiences. So I know some of you might feel called to go do a walk, or to go and get some food, or to go to a meditation, go to yoga. But before you do that, see, is this a distraction to move energy, or do I need to sit in it to process it and to just be? Because this is what the new earth is calling us to initiate, to upgrade us in, is saying that instead of distracting and assuming what your new version self needs, why don't we connect with the spirit and the soul level and say, wait a minute, is it right for me to go for a walk because I feel uncomfortable being angry? I feel uncomfortable with this experience. I'm sick and tired of being sick. I'm sick and tired of my sinuses. I'm sick and tired of my headaches. Or am I going to listen to my body? I know a big thing that I've been resonating with is, good thing I brought water, because when I'm channeling my waters, it's just woo. But one of the biggest things I really resonate with is that the gym. My relationship with the gym in my old paradigm was bodybuilding, was checking macros, was calories, I was the person who'd work out 2 hours minimum a day. That was my old coding. And I've noticed that since doing so much work, I am noticing that I'm tuning in on my energetics, that I still am physical, but I'm not obsessed over it because of the shadow of I need to be a certain way. I need to look a certain way. I need to have a nice hip and this type butt and this type of look good, right? That has completely moved out. And I'm like, what is my energetics? That's where it shifted into, right? So I want you to keep in mind that we are purging on all levels, and to listen to the purge. Because when we can listen to the purge, we make the work a lot easier. We say, thank you. The purge is different. It's not like a purge, you're like, oh, we got to purge. It's like, I want to get this out. I'm so happy. It's an energetic purge. You see what I mean? So there's a difference with a purge when you have stomach flu, and a purge when it's energetic, right? When it's energetic, it feels like it's like releasing from the inner being of ourself. It's releasing somewhere. Like you will feel it, the energy like a ball. And as you're purging, it will just move out. So when you're on the toilet doing your business, tune into what am I purging, right? When I'm sweating at night because I'm profusely sweating these toxins out of my body, tune into what are you purging, right? When you have acne, when was the last time you had acne like this? Ooh, my teen, 15-year-old self. What was going on in that time? They've been coming up a lot in my dreams. Write that down, journal that, have 2 journals. If there's something I can share with you, have 1 journal for dreaming and 1 journal from, your work. That's what's really going to help you out. Okay, let's move on from purging and let's go through out of the 8 signs of how you know that you've been chosen, upgraded for this new earth, and how you have also chosen for this new earth, because your soul, of course, chooses it. Number 4 is deep lows and deep highs. And this feels like you have no choice. So if maybe you're in this process where you're feeling really good one moment, and then all of a sudden this sadness waves on you. It's like you feel depressed, and it's like 1-2 hours and you're just in this deep sadness, right? I did a live about happiness. If you wanted to look at that, you can check it out. It was the last video I did. Maybe you're feeling really deep, like in between, like your emotions are like, wah, 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 wah. Something is recalibrating. You are rebalancing. There was something that was already imbalanced, and now at the higher frequencies, it's purging that out. That's a purge, right? So the best thing to do at these times and these deep lows is to tune into that version of your shadow that is feeling the deep sadness within you. Not to meditate. Before you meditate and go on all those things, tune into, okay, I'm feeling that. Be with it. Grieve that version, that teen self that went through depression because no one liked them at high school. Grieve that version of you that broke up with your partner and did all the shadow work and the healing, and you're like, why is it still coming up? Tune into those highs where the energy is really in this frequency and you feel light and you're connected to the universe, God, whatever you connect with, right? When you can do that, you are not bypassing the deep lows and the deep highs, but rather you are weaving them into the reality that you live in to understand, why did the universe, why are they bringing this for my initiation for the new earth? Because know that the reason why this old story is coming up again and again is because you are in an energy. You are so powerful right now. I want you guys to really receive this. Like, sit, breathe with this. You are so powerful right now to step into this energy that you have. You are so powerful to look at that shadow with acceptance and love. You are so powerful to completely be in the void, accept that you don't know every answer, accept that you won't be in control in the next years, because Spirit and Pachamama is in charge. So we need to get out of the way and stop being on this human plan and this judgment and this comparison, and let it go. And when we can do that, we allow ourselves to rebalance from these deep lows and deep highs, and we come back to an equilibrium. But yes, if you're being tossed back and forth like a ping pong, this is something you're experiencing. Remember that all these things were already alive. It's just now that the light is shining brighter than ever on your being, and you're seeing it. You're being able to see it and feel it. This is a time where a lot of us are going to feel called to be isolated. This is one of the reasons why I'm really encouraging in-person experiences with community right now with you guys. Because when we isolate ourselves, we accept the low. And there's a difference between accepting the low in a healing state and accepting it like, this is who I am. I'm attached to this low. I will continue to be depressed. I will continue to be unhappy. There's a difference in that energy to, I accept it. I understand it. I'm ready to let it go. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to not be part of this identity for the new stage I'm moving forward. It is not a power. It is not something for people to give me praise for this story. I let it go and I step into something newer. 333. Guys, the threes are hitting really hard on TikTok. 333. So really tuning into that. But if you're feeling lows and highs, stop counting them and start tuning into, I am okay, and I'm shifting into a new frequency. But what is the lesson here? What do I need to purge? It might be the salty tears that go down your eyes. the crying that needs to happen again and again and again, because it's lifetimes of crying. Some of you guys have shared that you've had your spiritual awakening 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it was. Now, how many years have you been living this life? How many years has your soul been coming back to earth? Many times, many years. So those are plentyfuls of eternal tears that might want to come through, but don't let your human start feeling guilty for letting it go. So let those purges happen. Purging is good. It's not a bad thing. But maybe there's a part of your human or your inner child that was like, ooh, I wasn't allowed to purge. Leave that in the old earth. We're understanding it. We're going deeper into it. We're healing it. We're doing the warrior work. Like I mentioned, this is warrior work. What I do here is for warrior work. It's not for people who want to bypass. It's not for people who just want the easy fix. Guidance is what's needed. I will never take away your power. That is not what I'm going to do. I will never tell you things for you to feel like powerless. You are already powerful. Even if right now you're at the deepest low and you entered into this live and when you entered into this video, you are still so powerful. So that is my share for that. Let's move to the next sign that you've been chosen to this upgrade and this new earth is old traumas and injuries come back. This is a really big thing, and I want to share a little bit more about this. So recently I had a few people, and I want to just share on my behalf as well, because even though I'm channeling it, I'm human too, y'all. So one of the things I will share with you guys is old traumas may happen, old injuries. Maybe you broke a knee years ago and it's starting to ache a little bit. Maybe your ankle is starting to feel a little bit off. Maybe, a certain element came back right now. Health is the biggest thing that it will be a theme for a lot of people, is learning how to heal themselves to meet these upgrades again and again, or maybe in one time, or maybe the first time. But seeing these physical elements, whether it might be a disease, maybe it is, an injury, a surgery that you have to undergo. Maybe it is cancer, allowing yourself to know that that is something that was written in your soul contract to tell you you will make it. Like, it's going to happen. Like, why wouldn't it not happen? You have an upgraded earth that is willing to upgrade and heal that injury even deeper. And it's reopened, reflared up, because the frequency of which you healed it at the time was at one frequency. And now it's reopening because something new is here to help and support you. Recently I had something that came back into my field, and instead of me going, oh, I'm not this again, I said, wait a minute, we're going to heal this again. And we're going to heal it even deeper. We're going to get even deeper into those roots, because it's like pulling out weeds in your garden. You pull out weeds and they come back again sometimes. Does your garden not grow? It still grows. But every time you pull out more weeds, the other plants, the other fruits and vegetables start to get more abundant, because now all that energy can go into those chakra systems, into your light body, into where it needs it the most, where it's going to support you the most. So knowing that these physical elements, these traumas, and they can also be emotional traumas. They could be, maybe you had an experience where you went out of an outer body experience and maybe you don't remember it because you've told your consciousness to forget that trauma. Or maybe you do remember it and now it's coming up in your dreams. Now the person is coming and messaging you randomly out of the blue after many years. These are all traumas. These are little nudges, spirit saying we can't hold that. We're not bringing that into our new reality. We're not bringing this into the higher self. We're not bringing it into the life that you have chosen to live in, this conscious experience of life that we have chosen. So knowing that injuries are really just showing us where we have been feeling that we've been held back, where we've been initiated into life and our purpose, and where we are learning so much deeper beyond the physical. But yet it starts with the physical sometimes for us. And that can cause us to slow down. These injuries and these old traumas may, not for all of you, but for some of you, it's going to ask you to slow down. And the reason it's going to ask you to slow down is because that time is going to give you so many answers, because you're not actually just playing the rat race game that society wants us to play in the past time that we're now shifting out of. right? So any version of you, maybe in your corporate time, that rat race is coming back. That pattern is coming back, even in this time. And this physical element or this trauma is to slow you down, not in a bad, it's not to push you back. It's to slow you down for you to see the abundance that is here in time and in being and in the state of healing. In the state of healing, and what I mean state of healing is if I can be in the state of taking this time for healing myself and my being presently and making time for myself, then spirit will make time for me. That is the biggest. If I decide to heal on myself and revisit these injuries, well, hello, spirit's about to give me abundance of time, and they were just waiting for you to ask. So again, old traumas, old injuries coming back, it just means that when we're healed, for those of you who healed it, and for those who didn't, that you are in a space, you have the tools to really face head on what needs to be seen here. And there's nothing that spirit will never ever give you that you can't handle, even if your human's freaking out like, oh my gosh, oh my God. No, it will, you will handle it. You are fine, right? Like, remember that you are such a strong being. You are a being of consciousness. You are an extension of the universe. You are the most abundant, powerful thing ever in this life. And that no money, no anything can hold that back for you, regardless of where you are in this stage. Okay. The sixth thing and sign that you need to know about upgrading you to the new earth, to your conscious self, is that you have no control over how your gifts are expanding. How many of you have currently had this experience when you maybe had a situation where you're just channeling? You're channeling, oh my gosh, and you try to control it. You're like, I need to, oh my gosh, I know. How many of you have been channeling constantly? Maybe there's a certain gift that has opened. If you have experienced that, put a star emoji and feel free to share. But even if it's the replay, your gifts are expanding so much. And the reason why they're expanding right now is to support you on a deeper path that is beyond you. I said something the other video, and I want to say it again because I feel like it's worth sharing. The new earth is about understanding that your mission has nothing to do with you, but for you to step into a selfless, abundant place as a warrior of this earth, as a warrior of consciousness, you need to make sure that you are good. You need to take care of you first. You know, before you do any of that, no matter how much your soul's like, I want to do this. I want to open a retreat. I want to help souls with Reiki. I want to do light work. I want to channel. I want to be a psychic. Whatever it is, whatever gift is calling you, that we all have these gifts that are calling us to lean into. It doesn't matter. As long as you are good, then guess what? All the traumas, all the injuries you have are healed, and you can be a clear conduit, supported for spirit and your guides to help you with the next journey that you need to step into. But until then, you're going to constantly go back to these injuries, go back to traumas, go back to the injuries. Things will feel ungrounded because within you feels ungrounded. So what the new earth is calling you to do is use your gifts to ground yourself, to integrate, to receive, to heal yourself first. And then you'll know. Like just today, I got a channeled message of how to support community more. And I wasn't looking for it. But the moment I start looking for it, I get frustrated. You're like, why isn't anything working? Because you're going against the tide, right? And when you go against the tide, guess what? The tide keeps pushing harder because it knows that this isn't what nature is supposed to do. Nature, new earth, working alongside with nature. You can't do that anymore. There's no way you're going to survive the new earth if you don't do that. But guess what? You can, because you're initiated. You're here. You're doing the work. So, sorry, I had to sneeze. So, whatever I sneeze is confirmation. That is the biggest thing. So expand your gifts, allow your gifts to expand, allow yourself to feel the ringing of the ears, feel the sensations, feel the tingling. Don't close it off, because every time you close it off, you're creating a micro trauma that your gift isn't welcome here. that your gift isn't welcome here, that you are not welcome here because your gift is you. So you are now stepping into suppressing your highest conscious being that is trying to transmute, trying to live through you. I'm feeling heat all in my body, receiving this heightenedness. I feel like every single one of you are receiving a transmission, and it's amazing. That's great. So don't control your gifts. So one thing you can do if you feel like you're having a hard time right now as you're going through your upgrades is really write down the shadow work prompt is how can I step away from control and let my gifts move through me? How can I step away from control and let my gifts move through me? And if there's that resistance that comes in, listen to that. Where is that in your body? Breathe into that body, connect with that part, do a meditation with that part of your body. This is what's going to teach you to connect on a higher level. And it's going to go beyond the body. But the body, again, needs to be good. So this is why the upgrade has a lot to do with trauma, the physical, the purging, all these things, because then the gifts expand. And when the gifts start to go so rapidly where you're feeling so enlightened, because remember, enlightenment doesn't come after. Enlightenment's right now. Paradise is right now. Heaven and earth is right now. Whoever told you it's after, the joke is there's no time, right? We talk about that with earth and with our spiritual experience. But when we understand that the paradise is now, we start to not resist what is true. We start to not resist what is good for us. I'm going to read your comments because I'm like channeling quite a bit before I go to the next one. My visions is changing and I'm always seeing flashes and stuff that's something in the corner of my eye. Yeah. So it's like almost like that was very common when you're still resisting. And that's a lot with visions. Yeah. Something's opening up. 33 has been chasing me forever. Yeah. So seeing 33, tuning into it. I have a whole bunch of angel numbers on my channel. Thank you so much, Keith, for the love and supporting. Songs have been coming through me too. Amazing. Yeah. Singing, being a creative being because you are a conscious creator. You are the creator. So when you start to tap more into your creations, you're becoming more in alignment with the creator itself, to divine, to universe, to whatever you connect to. That is the true blessing that is offered to you, right? So then the singing comes in, then the songwriting comes in, then this is what every single person has. But you're awakening that within you and you become a walking template ceremony of those gifts within you for every single person that gets to connect. That's amazing that you're starting you're starting the things, you're receiving it, you're starting lessons. That's amazing, Maxine. So all these things are important. Okay, so let's go into the next sign that you have been chosen and you're receiving upgrades for this new earth. And that is you are being pulled to a very new way of living on earth. So the next thing I'm going to say is something that is very potent and it might be something that will take time, and that's okay. But the biggest thing that you need to understand through your process and initiation of this new earth is that you're going to have some very hard human decisions to make. What I mean is your soul's going to be like, it's a F yes for me, but your human's going to be like, what the F are we doing? And that's okay. You know what I'm talking about? Put an explosion emoji in the comments and just let me know what's up. But what I mean by that is that your human being, your being, who you are as a soul, is being called to live life with earth. So if there's anything, like for example, there's been a few people I've been connecting with and they live in the middle of the city. They live in New York, they live in Toronto, they live in a big city, Chicago, right? And they are living in a space where there's so many energies. And the reality is, guess what? Even if you're in a hut in the middle of nowhere, you're still gonna have to work with these energies. There's a give or take, whether you're in a hut or whether you're in the middle of the city, there is something. But what I will share with you is to find a balance, right? So what's being called is that Spirit's asking us to live more consciously with earth. And that might mean creating a garden in your space where you are being called to tend to earth herself. There's a responsibility that is given to you that you are receiving, right? A lot of people are going to be moving out of these cities and moving into conscious community. It's going to happen. It is happening already. And what that means is they're breaking free from a matrix and creating a new system. And when that matrix shifts, When I say matrix, let's define that deeper. Matrix means an old system, a programmed system that is used in tiers, that doesn't see every being as equal. So when we move out of the matrix, we're creating a system of equal and peace, and all humans are free. All humans and beings are considered equal as one. We got a lot of work to do, which is why Spirit's giving us a big initiation with the new Earth upgrades, and why you're going through this experience. We got a lot of work to do, but guess what? You got this. We got this. So ask yourself, is there anything right now in your home or your lifestyle that doesn't resonate with you? Maybe now you're noticing that the community you always lived in for many years just doesn't resonate and you need to move. That's going to happen. That's going to be a process. So what are you doing right now to start the building blocks of moving, right? This is what is called, this is what a lot of elders have seen, is that eventually the earth will come back. That's its biggest prayer. Indigenous elders and many other elders believe that a lot of people will come back to earth, will come back to the nature itself. And we need her as much as she needs us. We work together, right? For this human experience. Now, keep in mind, she's a very powerful person and she can blah anytime. But what I'm trying to say is she's teaching us to learn to trust her more and to also show up for the earth more. Don't be so entitled to her energy and her medicine. That's a big thing I want to share with you in a time where right now, speaking as a plant medicine carrier, because I do serve medicine, is that we cannot be entitled to her energy. It's like someone walking around being entitled to you, right? And oh, so nice to see you. It is like if someone were to say, I'm entitled to your energy, I'm entitled to purging on you, I'm entitled, well, hello, your boundaries need a check, right? We can't be passive to the boundaries that are being called for us for the new upgrades that we need to step into. And that means we have to say no to some comfortable things in the human life, right? That might mean boycotting some businesses. I've had to do this recently. The convenience of me going on a road trip and seeing a certain business and it doesn't align to me, I have to boycott them. I'm like, no, I'm not going to shop at Starbucks. I used to work for Starbucks when I was young. I used to be a barista. And for me, it doesn't resonate for me. I'm not saying there's no judgment if anyone does that, but for me, based on what I've received, what I've downloaded for myself, it doesn't resonate with me. Maybe that also means the same thing with big companies like Walmart and other companies like that. How about supporting local? What about supporting the source? You know, that's going to require us to put our money where it matters, in the indigenous, in the local farmers, in the people that matter. And in doing that, we help them, but we're also helping ourselves and our being and our consciousness and our light being, because we know where that energy is coming from. So it's about understanding the things that are seem out of our way, instead of buying things or groceries from the big stores and Amazon. It's like the new earth is initiating us to look at what is the way that we're living that we feel entitled to easy, quick things. And understanding the quality of life is when we tap into where is my dollar going and where is the consciousness energy being received? Where am I receiving my energy? Clothes, food, going to school. Like there's so many things we can talk about for hours and hours. Obviously, I'm gonna keep it short. It's almost an hour, so I want to be short with you guys with this transmission. Not short, but just deep into what we need to talk about. But again, just tuning into what is being called for you to shift your lifestyle, and even just start journaling it. Channeling that out. It might be not right now, but if just me accepting that right now, I would love to have this farm or this. I would love to live in a place where there's a herb garden. I would love to support more farmers. I would love to boycott these companies because I've been wanting to do it. I want to talk about something that's even deeper. A great example that I've had a conversation with a close person to me. And we're talking about exploitation. The new earth is going to eradicate exploitation. That is something that we're going to be seeing a lot, right? We're already seeing it, but even more so, what I mean by that is any company, any organization, any person that has exploited humans, children, women, people is going to be shown. So my question to you, stepping into that initiation, is where have you been accepting the exploitation? That's a hard one to sit with. This is something we're all just learning, including myself. And the big way we see that is in the sensuality, in sex itself, right? Online, how people self-pleasure, all those things. I can talk about that. All of those things are ways that we're understanding where's that energy? Whose energy are we viewing? Are we giving into that exploitation? Food, same thing. Are we giving into that exploitation as well? These are all things that we have to understand and deprogram. I love that. Spacey, yeah, 100%. Deprogram. What are you being called to deprogram? Keep it simple and easy. It's one of the things my teacher always says. Keep it simple. You don't need to go all fajazzy, like keep it simple. You play a part of exploitation and it will continue on this earth until we decide to abolish it ourselves, but it has to start with us. You have to start saying no to what is considered convenient because that convenience is what's giving into the shadow of this collective. I know this is deep. I'm really passionate about it, but it's true, right? And I know you guys can receive that. So deprogram how you're giving into the exploitation of this world. And when we can do that, we can have more more respect for ourselves and for the earth and for nature and for our life and for our family members and for our partners and for our children and for elders, right? Because now there's no exploitation. There's no testing on the elders first on medical things that happen, like what happened the past 2 years. Guess what? The first people that they were telling to go do these things, the elders, the indigenous. Once again, history repeats itself, exploitation of the elders, children, right? First people to take away their voice and allow them to be programmed to a system, a matrix that no longer sits with us. So we need to understand that that is the hugest thing that you're going to be called in your process, to be patient, to not judge it, but just to catch ourselves with love and say, okay, maybe I shouldn't be supporting that Shika. Oh, Shika's making me remind me of that. I need a journal. Now your responsibility is to go deep and go, okay, what am I boycotting out of my life? What am I removing out of my life? What am I releasing? Releasing, remember, Tess? What am I dissolving out of my life? When you can understand what you're dissolving into your life, new stuff has space to grow in the garden. And these new things might be even things that you didn't even plant. But somehow a bee came around, a butterfly came around, and they propagated those plants to come and give you abundance that you didn't even know would support you on your gifts or on your life or on your relationships. That is what happens when we deprogram and we strip ourselves from something that we were taught was considered easy, convenient, and acceptable. Okay, let's go a little bit. Take a breath. Okay. The last sign of how you know you've been chosen and going through the upgrades for the new earth is that you let go of control and surrender and act to the new plan spirit has given to you. Source, universe, whatever you connect with. So what that means is that you have to let go of the fact of control. Let's deep into control and surrender. What is the difference, right? In order for you to surrender, you need to let go of control. In order for you to surrender, you need to let go of control. What does that mean? It means that for you to let go control is allowing yourself to create a system that protects you from feeling a certain way or experiencing something. If you want to know the most basic explanation of control, it is you going out of your way, you creating a system that protects you or allows you to see or to do something or for a system to be in place for a certain reason. It could be to protect you from trust because you feel like trust has been an issue. It could have been like a process where maybe you've been hurt in the past, whatever it is. Maybe you have anger towards a group of people, a certain race, a certain culture, right? Whatever it is that you have in your space that has triggered you in your being, right? That has to be let go. There needs to be accepting to break down the walls and to bring in to the space where your whole being can be at rest and not have an expectation of what is next. When you start to manage and catch yourself and practice that, surrender opens up something that is called living in the present moment and allowing yourself to really be on the path that you have been spending many years seeking outside of yourself to receive or ask someone else to validate where you need to be. that validation dissolves completely because the control that is creating this reality that you want to focus on you, right, dissolves because New Earth is not about you, it's beyond you. And those who are very narcissistic or focused, if you want to use that word's used so much, those who focus a lot on themselves or have to focus on themselves because of shadows, these walls continue to create itself. And what is happening with all of the astral activity and the light beams and everything that's going on in this world is creating and shining on these walls to dissolve. And then now you're going through this upgrade of I have no control. You know, the job that I thought I wanted, I don't want. The situation and person, I don't know. I don't know what I want. When you say I don't know, that's usually a sign that there's numbing or there's control that is being had beyond for the emotion, right? So whenever you're experiencing something, you're having a hard time figuring out what is going on. If you say I don't know, that is a sign that there is some numbing or there is like kind of this wall that is trying to sometimes our subconscious or conscious self is preventing us from seeing. So the upgrade that is received for us to step into this new paradigm is saying that I have a plan that is beyond me. And you can accept that. There is a plan beyond me. I show up, yes, 100%. I agree to it. You have that power, but there is a plan beyond you. And when you start to do that, because you feel safe, because you've released your traumas and you've allowed your old injuries to be healed, because you accept the vivid dreams that you have, because you allow the stream of your gifts to come through, because you allow the secrets that have been held for so many years to purge out of your body, what happens is you then open and you see the paradise that you've been waiting for. Because there's no expectation of what it looks like, how it is, who's beside you, all those things. It just comes so flowy, so freely. But before we get to that paradise that's already here, we need to clear whatever is masking our vision, clear the third eye, clear whatever walls and old paradigms, old lives that we are living in right now. My sinuses are draining right now. You're receiving so much. That's great. So again, this is one of the biggest things I want to just share in preference with you guys. Ask yourself, out of all these 8 things, maybe you're experiencing all of them. Maybe you're experiencing some of them. Maybe you're experiencing a few of them. Whatever you're experiencing, I just want you to share in the comments or in the chat what you're experiencing, even if it's the replay, and just let me know, this is what I'm experiencing right now. And this will allow us as a community to work together because that is what's needed. The new earth is about stepping and calling us where we're acting like life is alone, that we got this. Even the controlling people that some of us may be or were or whatever, that we have this, I got this. It's like, no, you you never only had it. You never only had it. Even when you felt like you did, there was a lot that was working with you. And there's a lot that's being shown that is stepping forward and other beings, other benevolent energies that are supporting us. Sorry, I'm just looking at my TikTok because it's pausing. One second. Give me a sec. I don't know. TikTok does this new thing now that when you haven't been on live for a long time, it makes you confirm that you're actually there. I think because people stream live so long. Anyways, okay, so now we're good on TikTok. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so I think that's one of the biggest things that I just want to bring to you guys, your awareness of receiving all those things. To go, when you're done this video, make some time. If you can do it after, amazing. But if not, make some time, schedule some time. I'm going to offer this to you, to journal the things I shared with you and to write down what resonated with you, what really tuned in. If you are really resonating with a lot and your whole body has gone through a process, you're experiencing a lot right now, what I highly suggest you doing is to really tune into that. The next months are going to be a lot. It's going to be a process, right? Be patient with yourself. Be patient, but also be mindful of where you're isolating the truth that is coming up and hiding yourself in that space, right? And when you can do that, a lot is going to open up for you and you're going to move from those deep lows and these deep highs and you're going to rebalance your being because there's acceptance. I keep seeing this word. There's acceptance that is there. Okay. If you are feeling called to go deeper and you're really resonating with this and you're like, Shika, I need help healing. I highly suggest you applying to the Rebirth program. This is all about healing. You know, it's 3 months or 6 months. It's an hour and a half every bi-weekly. We go deep into the medicine through various practices beyond what I share here. Shamanic practices, breath work, elemental work, plant medicine, deep healing. And if you want to go in person, we have retreats and trainings. I also have a training with the Divine Dharma for space holders, people who are really accepting. I want to say this word. You have accepted that you are one of the beings that we all are, and you're ready to step forward in your process. You're ready to step forward as being a service in your gifts. Then apply to the Divine Dharma. My last thing is the Goddess Retreat still has a couple spots left. And if you're feeling that you really want to work with your feminine, your womb, your healing, and that's a really big part of your path, you can apply down below. Trainings are all down below. There's a lot that's coming up for all of us. So just stay in touch with the email list and make sure you like, subscribe. It makes a big difference on this channel, especially with the type of stuff that I share here. It is transparent, it's deep, and unfortunately, we still work with systems. And it really helps a lot when you share it, you like it. It helps this community and it helps people to see this video because, again, the more of us that are light, the more the shadow feels like they want to hold down the truth. And we are stronger than that. The people are so much stronger as we are together. We are so strong. So I'm sending you the deepest love in your initiation, your upgrades, and knowing that you have chosen this as much as it has chosen you, and to work with it, not against it. Okay. I love you so much. Thank you for hanging out with me on this live. And I can't wait to hear all your comments and continue to grow with you in this community. Bye.